Here we are back with a timeout. Now we're going to talk about the Seahawks Cowboys. Cowboys won 24-22. It was kind of a battle all game. I think it's a big win for the franchise of Dallas. Um, I just thought it was really cool how the fans ran into the stadium and everything, the environment. But overall, it was a great game. Probably out of all the games, my favorite to watch. I just thought it was wire. It was wire to wire. Both teams battled. Both teams probably, weren't going to be an easy out next week. Whoever won. So I'll let you guys start, and then I'll finish this one out because you guys know I'm excited for them Cowboys.
Yeah, this was like you said. This was a fun game to watch. It was truly it was an exciting game. It was decently high scoring, a lot of big plays, etc. The big thing that really stuck out to me is I called this when we were predicting the games. Obviously, I took the Cowboys to win, so I love that because all week I had people telling me the Seahawks were going to win. I told them they were nuts going into Jerry World thinking that. Um, but I think one of the huge keys for the Cowboys' success was Tavon Austin in the return game. I said that, in our last podcast, you guys heard me say him being back, he's an electrifying player. So it really, really helps just getting him the ball in space. I even pointed out the return game in general. What was it, like 73 yards, 73 punt return yards. He had that touchdown called back, too. So you add that to it, that's a whole different aspect to the game, scoring wise and everything like that. But I was really disappointed in the Seahawks. You want to talk about, a team that didn't get the run game going. I understand the Dallas defense is good. Their front seven is loaded. They got the young corners, so they're definitely, they're one of those defense where you don't want to play, especially in the playoffs. But for the Seahawks, they had nobody eclipse like 30 yards rushing. Russell Wilson was the only one to score a rushing touchdown. So that was kind of disappointing. Then if you look in the passing game, outside of Tyler Lockett had that big play. I think he ended up with over 100 yards receiving because he had that 50 or 60 yarder. But guys like Doug Baldwin didn't do great. I mean, he had a couple nice catches in the game, but stats wise wasn't great. It was just one of those games. I give all the credit to the Cowboys though. Definitely utilize their players. Ezekiel Elliott in the run game. Again, it was both of these early games was we kind of see that the team that had the better run game was the one that won the game. And Ezekiel Elliott, he went for over 100 yards and a touchdown. Amari Cooper played well, 7 catches, over 100 yards. So things like that, they add up. And I just want to, all those Dak Prescott haters out there, I want to tell you, I wish Big Hibby was here with us tonight. Kind of want to rub it in his face. I know he was kind of down Dak. He showed up to play. And, I was like, what Ezekiel Elliott said in the post game. The guy's a baller, and he showed up to play. So it's going to be exciting to watch the Cowboys go forward, going on the road next week. Can they do the same thing? Can that defense show up again? That type of thing.
Yeah, for sure. I picked the Seahawks in this game, and I was really hoping they would pull it off. I'm a big Russell Wilson believer, so it was sad to see them, not pull it off. Going for the onside late in the game and not getting it. But gotta give credit to Dak Prescott. I was kind of hating on him. I'll be honest. Like Trav said, he's got a lot of haters, and I said he was a game manager, and he went out, on that one of those late drives and won the game for him. Like got that rushing touchdown. Was throwing some good passes, and I mean, hats off to you, Trav. Calling out Tavon Austin, and he did some damage for them. And like usual, Elliott, he ate again. Had 137 yards. That's pretty good. Mm-hmm. And but yeah, I was really pulled because being a Lions fan and the Lions losing to them on that bogus call a couple of years ago. I do not like the Cowboys. I'm not gonna lie. I just totally dislike them. So I'm never really gonna root it, for them. I do like their players, but I'm never gonna root for them. So I was really pulling for the Seahawks, and when they fell short, I was pretty upset, and Zai was getting at me, But I mean, you gotta give credit to him. But I say that it'll be tight, but the Rams are gonna meet them. But I wouldn't be surprised, if they did pull off the upset, because now they're starting to click, and really Amari Cooper didn't. I mean, he did have over 100 yards receiving, but I mean, he didn't even have a touchdown. So like, next week he gets a couple touchdown passes. Like, I mean, they could possibly pull it off. So, I mean, they're definitely a great team to watch. Very fun. Like watching Zeke. He's one of the funnest running backs to watch. Play, and to see that duo go at it. So definitely a great game to watch. Very exciting as a fan, and gotta give up shout out to Zai. His Cowboys won.
One thing I forgot to mention at the beginning, I'm sure you guys feel the same way. Definitely prayers go out to Alan Hearns.
Sure.
What a crazy injury that was. So, hope him the best, which is a freak play. You never like seeing stuff like that. But, when we talk about the game, yeah, Zeke did his thing, but this is why I like the Cowboys. As long as Dak doesn't turn the ball over, you have to beat the Cowboys. I mean, you literally have to go out and beat them. They're not going to beat themselves. They're going to ground and pound. They're going to complete a couple passes, and they're going to play good, smart football with a good defense. And, that's proven to have success in the playoffs. I don't think it's going to bring them a Super Bowl this year, but I think they got a chance to get there. I've called it since midseason. I thought the Cowboys were my team in the NFC. I don't know if they're good enough to beat the really good AFC teams, but you never know who can make it. They might get lucky and a bottom AFC team might make it. So you always have that chance. But one thing the Cowboys got to clean up, and I think Russell Westbrook at one point only had like 4 completions. This is like in the third quarter, I think. But he had a ton of completions for over 20 yards. So the Cowboys secondary needs to clean that up. They can't be giving those up, especially against the Rams and how explosive they're going to be. So that's the one fear that I have in this game coming up. And then, Dak can't throw the pick in the red zone. Like, he's not going to be able to do that against them. So those are the only 2 things. But, it's kind of crazy. You never think about it until you start to talk about them. How important or how much of a key to that game was when Janikowski got hurt. It just is, you don't think about it, and it just it's crucial, that you just have all your weapons and everything's firing because, that was I think that was a brutal loss for the Seahawks because it changed their play calling. It changed how they did things towards the red zone. And, you look back on it, if he makes that field goal and he's not hurt, very well we could be talking about the Seahawks winning, not the Cowboys.
Yeah, for sure.
Wasn't the punter the backup kicker too?
Yeah, they just they didn't even let him kick extra points. So
that's tough.
That it's just really interesting. But the Seahawks, as long as Pete Carroll's there, and they're going to be okay. They're probably one of the teams that I think they achieve the most with under talented rosters, and they just find guys and they work hard and they compete. And Russell Wilson in a playoff game is always going to give you a chance to win.
Can agree with that one.
I think, like you're saying, Janikowski getting hurt. I mean, he's still a great kicker, but might be time to wrap it up soon because that did not, no contact, just looked like he pulled his hamstring, so tough to see. And I think it definitely changed, what the Seahawks would have done in certain situations for sure.
And I'll talk about this last time, and a lot of people have been hard on Jerry Jones over the years, but what a move it was to get Amari Cooper to be able to use that draft pick. Mm-hmm. And, I agree, didn't have a touchdown. I think he could still do more than he's doing. But, I remember in that last drive, caught like a 30-yard pass, found a little soft spot in the zone, it made a couple guys miss. I mean, he had 7 receptions for 106 yards. That's averaging 15 yards a catch. I mean, he just has become that guy that gives Dak kind of a safety net. And credit to Jerry Jones to go get him and allow the Cowboys to become a playoff team and be able to compete in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think Amari might be the signing of the season for sure. And also, to your point, it spreads the field out more, and people know he's a threat, so they know they got to worry about him. Might have to come over and double him, So definitely have to worry about him a lot.
Absolutely. All right, well, that's going to do it for Cowboys Seahawks. Next, we're going to talk about the defensive battle of the San Diego Chargers and Baltimore Ravens.